It's the only sound that makes me move. It makes me strong. It takes me high. The music moves my soul up by and by. I pledge allegiance to the house sound. It's the groove that will always be around. So I'm the one sent here to announce that you can't stop the house. Sound don't stop, so rock your box, can't stop the house. House music will grow.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave, everybody. I am super happy to be back with everybody here. Man, you know, so you guys know who I am. I'm telling my producer put my little third up there so they can know my name. They got to know my name because they got to know that Rico No Suave is back, you know, and that's what it's all about. So, you know, one of the biggest things about life is that you guys are actually here as far as with us. So I support you, you support us. And thank you guys so much for actually being a great part of what we call another level today. So one of the things about being a talk show host is making sure that we give you the right information, but we also make sure that we are here to entertain you as well too. So this goes to our next, which is my man, Jimmy Kimmel. So Jimmy Kimmel is one of my favorites, right? One of my favorites who I love to watch as far as in late night TV. And of course, there were some things that actually happened in regards to what he said and what he did. But he's also a really great, creative, Emmy award-winning from Television Academy. But he's also really good as far as being a comedian, but being able to relay his words out to people. One thing is that I have to make sure that when we're talking about what we give to you, we give things to you in a way of our opinion and also our kind of our freedom of speech, but in a good way, in a positive way. And I was kind of shocked when we actually had an issue with him being canceled of what he had portrayed, his opinion and things as a comedian on the show. And there was a big uproar in regards to what he said, and people didn't think that what he did was out of context. So thank God, as far as with ABC, that they actually brought him back as a talk show. I was pretty hurt in regards to that, and I was like, oh my God. This is something that we have to, you know, be careful about. But at the same time, too, this is kind of a freedom of speech. But I'm really happy that Jimmy Kimmel is actually back on air. And this is a quote that I really like that he actually said. He says, as a comedian, your job is to tell the truth even when it hurts. And, you know, that can go both ways as well, too. Sometimes we say things that may hurt people's feelings. But at the same time, too, it's not in a direct because he is a comedian. So it might come off as that. All right, everybody. Welcome back, Jimmy Kimmel, as far to the late night. Yes. All right, everybody. I have to introduce this gentleman here, and I'm super happy to actually have him on the show. You know, one of the things about being a writer, being an actor, being a producer, but one of the key things that I have to tell you about this gentleman is his voice, as far as being a voice actor. And today we give him flowers, man. We give him flowers. I wasn't give him money, but I'm broke. You know what I mean? But this guy is the man. And I have to show him love today because thank you, Beatrice, for having him on the show. I want you guys to put your hands together for none other than my man, the voice actor, Greg Eagles. Let's go. Greg, how you doing, sir?
I am very, very well. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Rico.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I
Yes,
can hear you.
sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm very, very well. I am glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I am glad that you are here with me today, man. You've been a talk of the town. I got to tell you, man. From us,
Hey, I love
in the
that.
studio, we've been ready, man. We've been ready for this. We've been waiting a couple months for this. We're like, yeah, we finally got him here.
Put me on the spot now, bro.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, you got two perfect names. It's Greg and Eagles, baby. Let it fly, baby. Let it fly. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Greg, before we get started, do you have any shout outs you want to give out to anybody that's out there as part of your journey?
Well, who do I want to? I want to thank the people at Celeb Works, my booking agency, for booking me back in my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I will be there this week, and as you know, we can talk about that later.
Yes, sir.
Um, I want to thank Beatrice, as you mentioned her earlier, for turning me on to you and suggesting, as well as my friend Carlos Moreno, as you interviewed him.
Hey, Carlito.
Before.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Very talented guy. Always got his
Yes.
hands in the mix doing something, talented guy. And he told me about you, and I said, well, let me check this brother out. Yeah, I'll do that. It sounds like something I want to do. So those two people helped bring me to you, and I'm glad to be here.
Man, much love, man. Much love. All right, everybody. Hey, Greg, it's time to get this party started. Let's get it on, man. Let's get it on. Let's talk about the acting piece. As an actor, what was your journey like for you to understand the roles that you applied for coming up and how you actually auditioned for them? So, if you want to tell us a memorable time where you're like, man, this is how it was, as far as trying to audition for this role, let the world know how that process went for you.
Oh, well, I got to tell you, in all honesty, I was booking a lot of stuff right before the pandemic.
Okay.
And the pandemic changed the game for a lot of actors because prior to that, you would actually go into a casting director's office and you would read. You'd be sitting there with maybe a dozen other guys, all of y'all jockeying for the same part or whatever. Some people that maybe even your friends,
Yeah.
and that was cool to see people that I probably hadn't seen in a while. So
Yeah.
it was a communal, almost family-like thing. And I really miss those days because now uh, we have to tape ourselves. We don't go into casting directors' offices anymore. The pandemic changed all of that.
Right.
And the downside of that is that you don't really get to face with casting directors because
Oh,
even if you go out for a certain role and they don't book you for that role, they might remember you and call you in for another role.
right.
They said, well, he didn't get this, but I think he might be right for this. I really miss that. And
Yeah.
subsequently, since the pandemic and having to do your own audition, the heavy lifting, as it were, we have to have someone to read with. We have to take our own auditions with our phones or whatever medium you have. You have to be the lighter. You have to be the director. You got to make sure your face look all whatever, and dress the part.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yes, sir.
But it's worth it in the end. But I just miss going into a casting director's office to have an interface with the person that could actually take you to the next level to get the job.
Right.
That is sorely missed to me as far as the auditioning process. And as far as actual auditions, I have a stand-up comedy background. So when I walk into a casting director's office, I don't have any nervousness or anything like that. Because if I'm standing in front of about 50, 60 people trying to make them laugh, one
Right.
person staring at me who is actually encouraging me,
Yes.
it doesn't really make me nervous or anything like that. But I do miss those days of actually interfacing with casting directors. And I'm sure there's a lot of actors who feel the same way.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think I think with that, Greg, is that I think that position where you start talking about where things are remotely done because of COVID and how things are actually being used where you don't have that personal touch. We don't have that personal touch like we had because it was just easy during that time. Do you think that because now that we use the technologies, oh, that's just better just for people just to send in their audition tape, right? To be able to do it. Do you think we kind of lost that feeling behind it? Do you think it will ever come back?
I don't know, and that's a good point because I sorely miss it. There are other actors who's cool with it. I just a personal thing with me is I miss the interaction, and my biggest fear from doing remote auditions and just sending in your tape
Yeah,
is, it's going to be hundreds of people who sends in the tape, and
exactly.
you're going to hope and pray that they at least watch yours. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? Now, if you're in the office, they're looking at you, but just by
right,
sending in your tape, that's not a 100% guarantee. So
right.
all that time and effort that it takes for you to find somebody to read with, to get everything together, to set up the room, to set up the lights, and the blah, the blah, the blah, the blah, it may all be for naught. You never really know, and that's just the reality of it.
Wow. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that because it's like going in for an interview and now I hear like, going to interview for a job is like it's now they're doing it via Zoom now, right? Where
Yeah,
you don't have to come into the office. I'm like, man, I'm used to dressing up in a suit and then going for an interview. I want to see what your reaction when I give you my answer or what I show you my talent. And now I can't really see that even in Zoom, it really doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that vibe. So
exactly.
you don't know you can't even shake the person's hand and say, man, that was good or thank you so much, and then walk out. For some of the ones I would say for you, Greg, because you've been as an actor, which leads to my next question, you've been into some primetime films, right? You Snowfall, FX, SWAT, CBS, Pair of Kings, Disney, NYPD, Blue, ABC, The Shield, FX, Sarah Connor. Man, that was a good one. Sarah Connor Chronicles, FX. Ooh,
And and I don't know if you're a fan of that show, but it's now airing on Me TV. It's like an old TV sort of nostalgia channel. I
oh,
just
for
found that
real?
out. I just happened to be channel switching, and I
Yeah.
saw the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I'm like, holy baby, maybe I can get a residual check now.
Let's go.
Yeah. And it's not that it wasn't that well. Maybe it was long ago. I don't know because time be flying, man. I know we did it like about maybe early 2000s or something like that.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
was
been a
early
while.
2000s. Yeah, I remember that. Yes,
It's been that
yes.
long, man. I'm old.
No, it wasn't that long. We ain't gonna date ourselves on that. I
No,
mean,
no.
no. But the ones that I went over, which one? Because I'm sure were on like Snowfall and things like that. Did you have to send in your audition tapes for some of those as well?
Snowfall.
Snowfall.
Great story. I found out it was John Singleton was behind the project. So I
Wow.
called my agent and I said, dude, get me in there. I want to work with this guy. I've been wanting to work with him since Boys in the Hood, right? So when
Yeah.
I found out he was a producer on the project, my agent got me an audition. I went over to Paramount Studios, and it was for this guy. It was the first season, and the storyline was just as crack was being invented and introduced to the hood.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hmm.
I played this. I played this hood red guy who comes up to the crack dealer and asks, what they was giving it away just a sample. They were giving it away just to get people hooked. It's kind
Uh,
of a tragic storyline. And so I'm like, what are you guys giving away? And he goes, something new and improved. I'm like, let me have two. He says, no, you can have one. So I'll get up in his face and say, no, let me have two. He said, no, you have one. you know? And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So as he's handing it to me, I grab a whole bag and try to run away. And two of the dealers jump me, and basically I get my ass kicked. But it was a good role, you know what I'm saying? But
well,
the thing I remember most is that
yeah.
John didn't direct that episode, but he was on set as a producer,
Uh-huh.
and I got to meet him. I got to
Nice.
talk with him a bit, took a selfie with him, showed him how much I appreciated his work. And it was just an honor to do that because not long after, as you may know, he passed.
Yeah, he passed away. Yeah.
So
Rest in peace.
yeah, that was a very memorable experience because just to get the opportunity to work with him.
Yeah. He was very, very creative. He was really into the films that he produced. Like his name, like when you hear Singleton, automatically you knew it was him coming out. Oh, I gotta go and watch that, right? Because he
Yes.
made an impact within the film industry big time. He struggled at the very beginning. Even though he struggled at the beginning, that dude was on top of it. Like when he made Boys in the Hood, of course, a classic of all types of films, but he just
One of
kept
the
going, man.
one of the youngest directors at that time to
Yep.
actually get an Oscar nomination. You know,
Yep.
because he got an Oscar nomination for that. I think
Yep.
for his screenplay, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
remember that. I remember that. Yeah. And I was like, man, this guy is going to be awesome, man. I said that guy is going to be awesome. So, with being able to play through Snowfall, but you played in a lot of other great ones as well too. Now, SWAT. Now, was a television show, right? Was a series as well. Most of them was all series. You played Narcos in Narcos Mexico. Did you speak
Narcos,
Spanish? Did you
Mexico.
speak Spanish? Did you speak Spanish in that one?
Yo hablo español un poquito, pero estudiaba para hace 7 años y para esas escuelas me gusta la lengua porque la lengua es música. Me gusta
Eso, con la música, sí.
la música, man. Pero I didn't have the opportunity to speak Spanish in Narcos because they
Okay.
specifically wanted a black African American for that particular part.
Uh-huh.
And what I remember about it and what I really loved about it is one of the few times that I actually got flown out of the country to do a part. We shot it in. They flew me into Mexico City, and then we drove to Guadalajara, and then we drove from Guadalajara to Cuernavaca. We shot it in Cuernavaca, and it wasn't a huge role, but it was a really nice role because I got to work with some real good actors, man. Really good Mexican actors who I had never heard of before, and they introduced themselves to me, and we got to know each other.
Nice.
And it was a star at the time. It was a guy by the name of Scoot McNairy. I think that was his last name. He's a white guy, but he played one of the FDA agents. And I've always admired his work. He's a great, great character actor. But yeah, Narcos Mexico was one of the highlights of my career because I watched it religiously on Netflix. That's the weird
Right.
thing with the show. Then you finally get booked on the show. Happened with me with The Shield as well. I used to watch The Shield. Next thing you know, I'm on set doing a scene with Michael Chiklis and Glenn Close.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man. Almost surreal. And I'm trying to contain it, like hold it in. Close, oh my God. They were so cool, man. And just down to earth people,
Let's go. Because you played in so many films, and when going through each one of these films and you look back on them, because also NYPD Blue and you play different characters, especially in Sarah Connor Chronicles itself. You play so many different roles. How were you able to work the different roles and to be able to become that actor like you really want to be in these different roles that you played then?
Oh, it's easy. I mean, that's what acting's all about. You try to, you got to be kind of like shapeshifters, But the
Yeah.
thing about acting on camera is you have to physically bring all of that to it as well, as opposed to voice acting, which you just have to alter the larynx a little bit. You look at a picture of a character,
Yeah.
and you say, well, how would this guy sound? How would that person sound?
Yeah.
But I like both. It's just about just reading the text and getting behind the words and really getting into the headspace of a particular character. It's more like I guess you could say it's a psychological journey as well as a physiological journey because you want to alter everything. You may want to alter the way you look. If I know this guy is supposed to be a badass, I may just go work out extra hard to get my pump on. And if he wasn't such a badass, I can lay that off a little bit,
Yeah.
It's a transformative thing, and you just got to be down for it. And that's part of the fun.
Yeah, that's cool because when you look at like kind of like when and I don't want to start because we're gonna do the second half of the voice acting because I'm ready for that. But as far as you playing like different roles, and I kind of use Jamie Foxx in this case when he played Ray Charles, right? And he plays like he's really good with playing like different people that, of course, that was part of the journey or maybe of history to be able to mimic their ways, their acting. Did you get a chance to, besides the one that we have here, did you get a chance to play like people that you were supposed to act like in some of the in any other films or movies?
All right, you mentioned Ray Charles, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got a story for you, buddy. Well, you're bringing up all kind of memories here.
Okay.
Before Jamie Foxx even was considered for Ray Charles, I was campaigning for Ray Charles.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
I was a comedian. I did stand up comedy at the Comedy Store,
Okay.
and one of the characters that I did was Ray Charles, and I did him very well. I sounded like I don't play the piano. I will say that. And that's one thing that
Sure.
Jamie has for me. I didn't play the piano, but as far as the singing and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I could sound just like him. And if I put on the shades and do the smile, you know,
Yeah.
all that stuff. A funny
Let's
story.
go.
I got cast as Ray Charles. It wasn't a movie. It was an industrial for Coca-Cola back in the day when he was doing the Pepsi commercial. Don't know if you remember that one. You got the right one, baby.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So they flew me to your town, to Chicago,
Chicago.
shot it at the Vic, and it was an industrial for Coca-Cola. I took some great pictures. They promised me a video of it, which I never got, but I did take some great pictures. So yeah, I actually got a chance to portray Ray Charles before Jamie Foxx.
That is cool, man.
And you know, it's funny because he knew that I did Ray Charles. Because I think, you know, somebody, well, he would come down to the Comedy Store. I mean, we weren't close or anything like that. We just knew each other in passing.
Sure.
And but I know his son. I know Ray Charles Jr. very well.
Okay.
And I actually went to Ray Charles's studios, his offices, to give him a picture of me as Ray Charles, his son. So because I know he was involved in the production.
Nice.
And while I was sitting in there trying to meet his son, Ray Charles himself came out, and I was just sitting there like with my mouth hung open. It was Ray Charles in the flesh going into his studio.
Wow.
You know, and how he would move is that he knew every angle of that building. He would feel his way along the walls, you know, to try to get to where he was going. But he knew every nook and cranny of that studio, everything. And he went and he sat behind the keyboards, and I wanted to stay there so bad to listen to him.
Yeah.
You gotta go. All right. That's my Ray Charles. Ray Charles was one of the guys that I did. I used to do Bill Cosby, you know.
Oh wow.
That was when he was before the whole scandal thing. And
yeah. The pudding pops.
The pudding pops, you know, you got to get the pudding pops and do the thing and the people you tune in for the people, baby. I got it.
Man, you sound just like him.
Hello.
Pudding pops. Oh my God. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, that was the Fat Hour one. Did you, when you actually saw going to Ray Charles and Blues Brothers, what did you think about the part, of course, when everybody was doing the twist and doing the monkey and he was singing in regards to that? Did you also imitate that piece as well, too? Because that was iconic as well.
What was that song? Shake Your Tail Feather.
Shake Your Tail Feather, yup.
Come on, let me see you shake your tail feather. Come on, let me see you shake your tail feather. Well, I heard about the neighbor you've been dancing with all around the neighborhood. Yeah, that was a great scene.
Man, let's go. Let's go. Man, you know what? We got to take a commercial break. But, man, Greg Eagles, man, I am super happy that you are here with me, man. And I'm so good because I'm so happy, I should say, but I am good in the inside, just feeling good about you just being able to know how you played the different roles, but also being able to do the impersonations of really great people and being able to have those memories with them as well, man. So big ups to you on that, man. For sure. Everybody, we got to take a quick commercial break. We got none other than the writer, the actor, the producer, and renowned, my man, voice actor, Greg Eagles, here with us on the Rico No Suave show. Everybody will be back with a quick commercial breaks. We'll be right back. 30 seconds. Let's go.
Every year, 800,000 children are reported missing. That's one child every 40 seconds. It's every parent's worst nightmare. Right now, there are 483 missing children cases still open. Your card donation can help keep kids safe and bring missing kids home. Donate your unwanted card today. Fast, free pickup, 24-hour response. Plus, you'll get the maximum tax deduction.
Call 800-723-2013.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave, con mi pana, man, con mi pana, my buddy, my friend. Hey, it's none other than Greg Eagles. Greg, are you having a good time so far?
Dude, you bringing back memories. I haven't talked about some of this stuff in a minute, but yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time.
Man, that's awesome, man. Hey, I'm so glad that you're having a great time on the show because I'm having a blast, man. I'm having a blast. All right, now we're at the second half now. Now you know what we have to talk about next. The voice acting piece of this, because there's a lot of people that makes I always think about when it comes to voice acting, but also using their voice to make certain sounds, like my man Winslow from Police Academy, right?
Beast,
and
man.
yeah, and making all different types of different things and sounding like an alien or things like that. When it comes to being able to prepare yourself or to be able to go into voice acting, what was the process for you to train yourself in regards to being able to talk like certain characters?
Well, my ex-girlfriend was a great singer, and she's the one that really helped me because she taught me to do it from the diaphragm. You know what I mean? Because if you do it from in here, you're just gonna blow out your nose and all that stuff. So you, particularly if you're playing like an alien character or some sort of monster or something like that, it all starts from here. So I kind of trained myself like a singer in that respect, because you have to know where, I guess you call it chakras. Your chakras are, which chakras to open. Yeah. And when she told me that, it really made it so much easier, because I would go in sessions and I would just be, and after I come out, I can hardly talk anymore. I have to give me 2 days drinking like a ton of Lipton tea or whatever and try to get it back. You know what I'm saying? When she taught me how to do that, you said you do it from the diaphragm. Bring it up. You bring it up and bring it out your chest. You don't come from the throat, and it will just come out, and that's exactly what happened. So,
oh wow,
that's a big part of it. You have to know how to preserve your voice, because it is your instrument, just like any instrument. You have to protect it and you have to nurture it, and you have to learn how to use it to its maximum effects.
Yeah.
Without blowing it out.
Yeah. So during that process of being able to use your diaphragm, it's almost like you're exercising at the same time. How was it? How long did it take for you to go through the process to know that, okay, now I'm good to go now? Like, I'm comfortable now with trying to get into voice acting?
Well, I was always doing voices, when I was doing stand-up, I was doing voices,
comedy.
whether it was like celebrity impersonations or different characters that I made up. And I started off actually, the first, I guess you could say, other than stand-up, the other paid gigs that I had doing vocal stuff was I was working in radio a lot. I worked for a guy named Tom Joyner. Do you know Tom Joyner?
Of course, Tom Joyner, man.
My job, Tom Joyner. Yes. I used to write comedy bits for Tom Joyner's show.
Wow.
And we would get paid $50 a bit. I gotta tell you, sometimes those $50 would come in handy. I'd be scribbling all week, trying to get like 5 bits so I can pay my rent. You know what I mean? And one of the bits that I came up with was a talk show host, James Brown, as a talk show host. It's called Jiving with James. Okay. So we would take one of those every week. James Brown, his voice, like good job with James.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking to different celebrities and everything. I'm not tired of what the people say. And how. But then we got to give it that.
Right.
So all
that's just like that.
Down here, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So when I was doing that, that's where I really learned. That was my training ground,
Well, you couldn't help but to train if you talk like that with James, because James will keep you going up and down and all around.
That is in the side, but you don't understand the word to be saying. That's the thing about it.
It's that last part.
That was James, man. You know?
Oh my God, that's that's crazy. When you got validation, like from people knowing that, like, because of course, if you're mimicking them, right, or impersonating that voice, it's so. When did you get? How did you know? Did you have like family members or the people that actually say you sound just like them, and you knew you were good to be able to
Yeah, yeah.
say that I mastered that person's voice
Hey, man, just going on stage and doing it. That's the
and doing it?
ultimate.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
ultimate validation. If an audience buys you as a character that you have, if you're crazy enough to try to attempt to do a celebrity impression, and if they buy it, then you know you're in the game, yeah. Because you can't get when you try to do someone that's well known.
Yeah.
Either you're going to sound like them, or you're not. There ain't no
Right.
two ways about it. And if
Yeah.
people buy you as that person, then you know you're doing the right thing. I got to tell you, when I was at the Comedy Store, I had the pleasure of watching Jim Carrey before he even became Jim Superstar Carrey. And he was such an inspiration to me because he would slip in and out of characters, whether they be celebrities or just some crazy left brain stuff that he made up. And it was just, he was doing stuff that no other comic was doing. So they couldn't steal his stuff because he was doing pure Jim Carrey.
Right. Right.
So just being around creative people like that was an
Yeah.
inspiration, and that's how you know. And I got Jim to laugh one night, so I knew I was in the house.
You did, Jim Carrey.
He
You
loved
see?
he loved my Bill Cosby. Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Did you get a chance to talk to him?
Yeah, I mean, I knew him before he got on Living Color, dude. Before he was like just like another comic. We would hang out at the Comedy Store.
That's hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang, that's hot. Oh my goodness. I love it, man. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty because now we understand what it takes to be a voice actor and what you need to prepare for to be able to become that person. It's either a yay or nay. If you get on that stage and try to impersonate, you can know if you're going to get validation or not. But this one here is one of my favorites. We're talking about gaming. And also we're going to talk about Cartoon Network as well, too, because I used to watch some of that. Let's talk about Metal Gear Solid and also Mortal Kombat. Jax, finish him.
Metal Gear Solid is like the gift that keeps on giving, man, because that game came out well over 20 years ago. I remember when the casting director came to me. I didn't really have to audition for that part. I played several parts, but the big part that everybody remembers me is the cyborg ninja, Gray Ghost, and like again, I that was during the time where I actually learned how to do it from down there because that voice was had to be menacing. It had to be otherworldly. It had to be like a metallic demon. And I had to get it down. And I had to make it work. And I had to just go for it, man. And those were some long sessions. I remember that's where I learned how to train my instrument, how to preserve my instrument. I had to do that because if I didn't, I'd be talking like this the next day. That was a great
dude. Oh my God, you brought back so many. Oh my goodness, you brought back memories on that Metal Gear Solid, man. Oh
That was a fun gig, man. Do you know? I don't know if you know. They've had like Metal Gear Solid conventions. I just did it. I think they started in like 2023. They just did the third one. We did it in Ontario about a month ago. But they are all just Metal Gear Solid fans. That game has gotten such a humongous fan base, man. It's incredible.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. Now on Jax though. Jax of Mortal Kombat. It feels like that's like Friday the 13th that never stops playing. Mortal Kombat comes out all the time. It feels like this always just keeps going. What do you feel like your journey was as far as with Jax? Or how long were you there as far as, I'm sorry, with Jax as well too? And, huh?
Well, no, Jax was, Jax was like a badass. He was more straightforward, of course, like a Ving Rhames kind of guy. Deep in your register and stuff like that. It wasn't like I had to put any extra spin on it.
Oh, okay.
Bad guy. So it wasn't that much of a taxing thing. But I had to really get down there and play that sucker and make sure he was me. I had to go in there and work that anger. It was mostly a psychological thing that came out with the voice as well. He was a badass, kick-ass brother that you didn't want to mess with.
And you also did a voice for another one for Mortal Kombat 2, right?
I was Jax, and I think it was Baraka.
Baraka,
They were
yes.
two, they were kind of similar. I remember that. But also, I didn't have to audition because they requested me. They knew my work, and that was a good thing. I always liked good work.
That is
Best way to get a gig, man. You ain't got to sweat it out.
right. Once you get there, they see your talent. They already know it. How does it feel being part of history, knowing that this is kind of a gift that keeps on giving as well too? What was it like for you to be able to know? And when the movie came out, right? When the movie came out, I'm sure everybody saw the movie. What was that like for you? Knowing that you were part of history and with your voice with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well, they didn't ask me to be in the movie, but other than that, it was all good, Wasn't it nice to have like a little bit part or something, I don't know. No, it was.
Do they have the comic? Is the Comic Con like the Comic Con? I've never been to one, but Comic Con, and I've seen people dress up and they're, with the one that kind of what you're going to in Milwaukee. Is it going to be where you're going to be using your voice, or what part are you going to be playing when you actually go?
Oh no! When I go to these conventions, I just have merchandise, and people ask for autographs. I have pictures of all my characters, nice. and now I feel so blessed and so lucky to have figures made of the characters that I have voiced.
Oh wow!
Case in point.
Let's go.
I don't know if you're familiar with Funko Pops, right? You know what Funko Pops are. Do you know what Funko Pops are?
Yeah, I've seen them, I think.
Yeah, well, this is the Grim Reaper.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They just dropped this past May. So, people are just, they come to see me and they want me to sign them. Now, this is one, ironically enough, that was friend of mine who works in the toy industry gave this to me. He's also an incredible artist. I don't know if you could see this. He also did this little artwork on the side here. Yeah, Grim artwork. His name is David Kalatni Naj, and he runs a booth called Toyzilla. Okay. And he gave me this as a gift, and I'm keeping this for my own personal collection.
Nice.
But people bring these to me to sign, and I also have several that I've bought to sell to anybody who wants me to sign them and who doesn't have one.
Sure.
So when you come see me in Milwaukee, if you want a Grim Funko Pop, boom, I got you. Also, they made one of the voice that I did for Crash Bandicoot, where I played the talking mask Aku Aku. This is a beautiful one right here. This is what him
nice.
And his and this is a deluxe edition of it. And they also have the regular Funko Pops as well. So these came out maybe about 5 years ago, I think. But it's really great. Now, when I see stuff like this, it really makes me feel very, very blessed and very, humbled that, I did something that was a part of history enough to be made into a figure that people can actually enjoy,
That's love, man. Yeah. Hey, that's because people love your work, love what you do. And then it just brings out the talent as far as what you have and how people what they think of you in a positive way, man. So, man, that is dope. That is awesome. I love it, man. I love it. Hey, Greg, we got to take a quick commercial break. This won't be long because when we come back, we're going to talk more about it because I got to talk about Cartoon Network next. Everybody, it's Greg Eagles, your boy Ruben Oswald. We will be back shortly. Maybe 15 seconds. Let's go.
Feeling sluggish? Struggling with stubborn weight and visceral fat? It's time to reset with Fupa Water. Packed with powerhouse ingredients like spirulina, turmeric, and aloe vera, Fupa Water is your daily detox and hydration boost all in one. Flush out toxins, energize your body, and say goodbye to that stubborn belly fat. Ready to feel lighter and stronger? Get yours today at fupawater.com. And for a limited time, use code RNSS for the Rico No Suave show and get an additional 10% off.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. None other than my man, Greg Eagles. Yes, man. Hey, Greg, are you having a good time?
Dude, like I said, you got me digging in my brain, bringing out all kind of memories and stuff. So yeah, I'm good.
I gotta recheck. Awesome. Hey, I want to give a big shout out because we got some people that's up in the chat that says hello to us. John T for free says hello, Greg Eagles. How's it going? Then we have Donna Marie Berg checking in as well too. She says, "Man, amazing impersonations. Can you name more celebrities you can impersonate, and who's your favorite?" I almost feel like that Ray Charles, but yeah, that's a good question though.
I'm gonna tell you a really freaky story. Okay, you ready?
Uh-oh.
There was a white actress back in the she became famous back in the 40s and 50s, well maybe the 30s and the 40s. Classic actress by the name of Katharine Hepburn. I don't know if you guys know. You know Katharine Hepburn?
No.
She was in a movie called On Golden Pond.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
With Henry Fonda.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's done tons of stuff. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier.
Okay.
But she had this really kind of weird sort of quavery voice, right? And she would talk like this all the time. You know, she would get up there and do her lines, and you could hear all the quavering in her voice. But everyone loved her because she had this mid-Atlantic accent, and she was so proper, you know?
Yeah, wow.
Check it out. I did a bit where I used to do a lot of celebrities, right? A lot of celebrities, but I would do them all if they were pimps.
What?
So can you imagine Katharine Hepburn as a pimp?
No.
No, I can get it too.
Can you tell?
Okay. Show?
You got to do the impersonation since you said that as a pimp. You got to give us some samples.
I'll give you a sample. I'm not going to get too far in the weeds with it. Okay, but I did this in my stand-up act. I got to tell you.
Okay.
This is Katharine Hepburn as a pimp. Bitch! You silly bitch! If you don't get up off of your giant skank ass and get me my money, I'm gonna put my foot so far up in your ass, you're gonna be coughing up shoestring. Now you get your ass back out there and you shake it like you mean it. Thank you. And sing. You know, that would bring down it would have two reactions when I did that on stage. Either people would look at me like I was crazy, or they would just be cracked. Like you do, they would just crack up because it's something that they did not expect to hear in a million years. A black guy doing Katharine Hepburn
as a pimp. Hey, Greg, all I can think about is how nervous the voice is to be able to talk to people. Oh my God, dude, that is awesome, man. Oh my God, I gotta say, Greg, that is amazing, dude. People better be laughing for that one because there's no reason to be looking at you crazy on that one. If they,
oh no, man, it's like it has a polarizing effect, but I think for the most part, people get it. They get the joke, so it's like
yeah. All right, man. We got a few more minutes of fame around here. You know the time goes by fast, man, when we're having fun. But Cartoon Network, one of my favorites is Dexter Laboratory. And also, you did something with Cow and Chicken, if I'm not mistaken.
Cow and Chicken, yeah. Cow and Chicken is one of my favorites because I got a chance to actually sing on that one. I played a blues singer called Blind Martin Johnson. Okay. So I went in and they had a guy play a dobro guitar and they had me sing this blues song. That was really one of my favorite episodes. That was the first episode of animation that I actually got to sing. And it really came out great. I loved it, you know. If you go online, you can see it. It's called Blind. Look for Blind Mutt Puddle Johnson, Coward Chicken.
Nice. Nice. How did you get picked for? What part did you play for Cow and Chicken? Not Cow and Chicken. The Dexter Laboratory.
Dexter's Lab. I think I played like a basketball player. He was like it was kind of a straightforward character. I remember now the drawing. He was like he was tall and he had a bald head. He kind of looked like Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. If something going on, with them, and I think it was just a basketball player. They wanted me to play the basketball player. But I remember, what was it? I did Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah.
Where I played a character called the Sandman, and he would put people to sleep. He would kind of like give them a spell and put the Powerpuff Girls to sleep. But they wanted someone to sound like this guy named Scatman Crothers, who was a famous actor back in the day too. Scatman did a lot of Disney animation too because he had a raspy voice, and that's why he was in The Shining. I don't know if you ever see that movie, The Shining.
The Shining. Oh yeah.
Shining, yeah. He was the one with the voice talking to the little white boy because they both had The Shining. so I had to do my Scatman Crothers impression for that. So that was a great gig. I remember that one. Yeah.
Do most of your, because you have this way of perfecting things, I feel like you perfect things right away, right? With some of the characters that you actually was impersonating or just actually doing a voice for, how many takes? Because it feels like that if it's not the way that the producer or whoever wants this, that they want you to repeat it. Just like in movies that cut, let's go over and do it again as well. Have you had any like instances where you had to repeat it? And you're like, hold on, man, let me get some water. Let me get some cough drops or something. I need to get my voice right.
That's a really good question because I really can't recall anything where it was just so taxing. There was one experience with a director on, I'm not going to name the show, but this was a guy who just basically should not have been trying to direct anybody because he had no idea what he wanted. He didn't know how to communicate with actors, which is essential if you're going to try to direct anything. And it wasn't, I realized it wasn't anything that I was doing. It was basically him. Mm-hmm. I just sort of relaxed and just went with it. You know what I mean? Because I think he wound up calling me back in because he even admitted that he misdirected me for something. So, but that hasn't happened very often in my career. When you go in there and you serve it, and that's the wonderful thing about voiceovers. It's not like you got to do very many takes because once they hear it and it's right, it's like, okay, fine, we got it. Boom, and you're out. It's not like if you're on a film set and you can do the scene perfect.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna have you do it again because of technical things. They got to put the camera at another angle. They got to get the lighting right. Blah 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 blah. So you may do it about 4, 5, 6 times or whatever. But it's more of a technical thing. Yeah. But with voiceovers, once they hear it, once you do it, move on.
We're good. That's love. And I think that comes a lot with practice, as well too, and what you're doing to prepare for that and making sure that that's the character we want for whatever, for animation or whatever that you're actually doing it for, which is awesome. Because once you're there, like with your talent, man, it's like a breeze. It feels like it's just, hey, I know exactly what you want, and we go from there. Has it ever been a time where you knew that, hey, I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to rock this, and you went in there and you was like, man, this is going to go well, and you had to repeat it multiple times? And you're like, man, I thought this was good.
You know what? I can honestly say it. I don't mean to like toot my horn, but that has never happened, really, brother.
I love that, man.
But I'm gonna tell you, the wonderful thing is sometimes when you go into a situation and the creators are not sure what they want, and then you give it something, they have an idea, they have a vague idea how they want it to sound. But you give them something that they didn't think of, and they like that even better than what they were talking about. That's how That's how I got this guy, the Grim Reaper.
Ah,
Now the
yeah.
creator initially wanted a British accent, I think, and he wanted them to sound mean. He even auditioned several British actors, and he just wasn't getting it. So I go in there, man. I go in there with a slightly Jamaican thing, a voodoo Caribbean, spooky sort of voodoo Caribbean vibe there, man. And he loved it. He said, "Okay, that's it. Me don't need to hear no more. You know, this is the Grim Reaper, man." Did I get the laugh? And that was it.
Dude, I'm like a kid in the candy store right now. Man, this is awesome, man. This is what I'm talking about. Oh man, this is what I'm talking about. Hey, we got time for one more question. Man, you are awesome, man. You're the bomb, bro. You are the bomb. And I'm so happy that you're here. We have to talk about something that's in a phase right now. It's called Teapot.
Teapot, Teapot.
So you got something in production right now, in
Well,
development. I
it's
should
not
say.
really in production. It was a short that I did for Nickelodeon several years ago.
Okay.
It was a 7-minute cartoon. You can look at it on YouTube. Watch it on YouTube. You got the entire episode, and it's about a little African American boy, 11-year-old African American boy named Teapot, who wants to be a rapper, right? But he can't rhyme to save his life. He's whack as whack can be, but he thinks he's all that, you know. And so it's him and his friend Boucher, and they meet his favorite rapper named Silkbone at a record signing.
Silkbone.
Silkbone. And you know, Silkbone was like, "Jimi Hendrix, baby. My name is Silkbone. The ladies love my smooth tone. Each time I speak, they want to make and when they do is moan." Or something. I forgot the rapper. It was so long ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Silkbone was his favorite rapper, but it came out really well, and I'm really pleased with it. So yeah, we're trying to get that off the ground as well as a couple other things I got. So I'm always in the mix, man. Trying to just always on the grind, you know.
That's awesome, man. I love it, man. Congratulations on that. That is hot, man. That is hot. So I got something for you, man, and it's not Silkbone. It's not silky. It's cotton. So I got a shirt for you, my man. I got something for you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got a shirt for you. The Rico No Suave Show shirt. Huh?
Okay, well, you know, I'm coming your way, so
Yes,
I
sir.
want you to come down and bring it to me now.
Hey, I might have one of my people to deliver for you because I'm going to be in Cali. I'm actually going to be in Cali this week. Yes.
Oh, man.
No.
Talk about bad timing.
Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely get this. I'm gonna definitely get this to you. That's for sure. But here's the reason why I give you this shirt, because you are a gem of the world. You are one of those gems where we look up to you because you're behind the scenes in some of the voices that we don't know who's actually really using those voices that we used to listen to, either through playing video games or if it's actually watching Cartoon Network, and even coming out with something like Teapot as well too. And we like, who is this person? We know the person's name, right? But physically, when we want to see that person, oh, that's what the person looks like. But it's kind of like when I'm talking to you now, it's like you're in person with me, and it's like, wow, this is awesome. But it also comes to where you are acting with big name series as well too, to be able to get those roles and being able to know how to be able to show your talent and get there, go from there. So with this shirt, we say, welcome to the Rico No Suave Show family. You're one of us now, Greg E.
Mucho gracias, mi amigo.
De nada,
Mucho gracias.
hermano. De nada. Yeah.
And this weekend, I'm going to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Bear Convention Center for NostalgiaCon, Milwaukee NostalgiaCon, starting Friday through Sunday. So if you're in the area, come on down and check me out.
So that's the 26th, September 26th through the
27th and
28th?
Yep, 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Perfect.
NostalgiaCon at the Bear Convention Center. I think it's 400 West Wisconsin Avenue.
Awesome. And what is the time? What is the times for that?
For Friday, I think I'll be there to 5. We have a panel. Myself and Gray Delisle, who voices the character of Mandy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. We have a panel at 5 o'clock. But I think they start at 10 and they go into 7.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's roughly about all 3 days. And they may close a little early on Sunday. But
okay.
Yeah, but I'll be there all day, 3 days.
Awesome, Greg. Awesome. Well, we got to put up your social media because we want people to know more about you and make sure that they're actually following you and your journey as well, too, before we get out of here. Hey, it's Eagle Swag, everybody. That's what we call it. Eagle Swag on Instagram. Make sure you go to Instagram and follow him there. Here's the next one. We got IMDb. Yes, it's important. Yes, it's all about credits, baby. Greg Eagles. Yes, make sure you go and check him out on IMDb. Last but not least, we do have Twitter, formerly X, formerly known as Twitter. Eagle Eye Greg, baby. So make sure you please go ahead and check him out there as well, too. And stay on top of everything there, everybody, because Greg Eagles, hey, it's like he said, the best is yet to come. Let's go. That's what we're talking about, everybody. Yes. Hey, Greg, thank you so much for being on the show, my man. And thank you so much for blessing us. Hey, I'm just lost for words because, hey, it's like I don't want to let you go, but you know the show must go on, baby. You know how we do it around here.
It's my pleasure, bro. I really appreciate you having me. Thank you for the love, and thank you just for everything. And thank you for helping me out with my computer. That's between us, but thank you so much for that.
That's the behind the scenes, right? Everybody put your hands together for none other than the voice actor. You already know, the writer, the actor, and producer, my man Greg Easel. Let's go. See you later, my guy.
All right, my
All right, everybody. We got to get out of here. We want to thank you guys so much for being here on the Rico No Suave Show. We had such a great time. I was like a kid in a candy store, everyone, and we were blessed to actually have Mr. Greg Eagles here with us today. And when we talk about history, everyone, this is what we want to bring you guys to be able to say, you can do it, right? And you can actually be great as well, too, with whatever talent that you may have. We got to put up our social media, everybody, and it's our website. You already know, www.riconosuaveshow.com. That's where you'll find more information about us. The next one is Facebook, Rico No Suave Show. Go ahead and like and love what we're doing. Here's the next one. Ba, 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 boom. Yes, Rico No Suave Show on Instagram. Make sure you go to Instagram, everybody. That's where we're at. And then, you know, it's all about subscribing. Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel on Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you go ahead and follow us there. Last but not least, it's Mixcloud. Turns into a podcast, everybody. So make sure you please go right ahead and listen to the audio while you're driving, and then, go from there. Everybody, we got to get out of here, but we want to thank you guys so much for all of your support, for the love. And until next time, everybody, as we end off the show, just lie there.